The professional era was made for Jonah Lomu. He exploded onto the scene in the 1995 World Cup and, all of a sudden, World Rugby had its first global star. Born and raised on the mean streets of Auckland, Lomu found in rugby a positive way to channel his energies. He is still the youngest debutee for the All Blacks at the age of 19 in 1994. Between then and his last game in 2002, Lomu amassed 63 tests and 37 tries. His very presence was enough to guarantee a watching crowd wherever and whenever the All Blacks trained. And he may not have won the World Cup in 1995, but there was no doubt he benefited most from it. His reputation continued to rise with the conception of the Tri-Nations.
Marshall again, Mertens, there's the kick wide, McCullen, and Tune, and Lomu gets one.
Everywhere he went, people wanted a piece of Jonah Lomu. He was always grateful of the talent he'd been blessed with.
When you play rugby in New Zealand, you know, the ultimate is to make the All Blacks, and you know, I've been given an opportunity, and you know, I've been handed it to you know, to have a crack at it and do my best for my country.
Between 1996 and 1999, Lomu was an unstoppable force in world rugby. He took the appeal of the game to a new level. Lomu may not have been the most skillful player, but he knew his strengths and exploited them to the maximum.
Lomu! The big bloke gets over.
You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the desire and the will to win, you know, that's what separates you from winning and losing.
The 1999 World Cup proved a disappointment once again for Lomu and his New Zealand teammates. His 8 tries in the tournament in vain as they went out at the semi-final stage against France. Health concerns had started to emerge and Lomu was used more sparingly, but the impact was still there. He was still the man the opposition feared the most.
I just do the talking out there in terms of, you know, by doing it, because anybody can talk about it. Doing it is a different story.
And Lomu certainly did his talking out on the pitch in what has gone down in legend as the finest ever match played between New Zealand and Australia. It was in Sydney in 2000 in front of over 100,000 people.
So the All Blacks with their tails up now. Umaga cleared from scrum half, they're into space here. Lomu, here they go again. Only Latham to beat. Gregan's across. He easily beat Latham. And another try coming up here for New Zealand. Alatini. Sensational. The All Blacks spun the ball wide. They promised to do it. And Lomu pulverised the Aussie defence out wide. The All Black forwards take it up towards the 10-metre line. They're looking to go wide again. They have numbers too, Umaga. Finally, someone puts a decent tackle on. That was Stephen Larkin, but there's an overlap here. Lomu again, away from Mortlock. He's still going. Jonah with Gregan to beat. Alatini's there, a great tackle by Gregan.
Lomu's contribution was immense as the All Blacks raced into a 21-point lead early on. But Australia fought back and had levelled the scores by half-time. Again, Lomu was the man for the Wallabies to worry about in the second half. But incredibly, they turned the game on its head in the final 10 minutes with a try from Jeremy Paul. The Australians in the crowd sensed another famous victory, but with Lomu in your team, the game is never over.
The All Blacks can still snatch it here with 3 minutes to go. Brown, Lomu, he's beaten one. Little came again. Now Australia in trouble here. Cullen. This is Flavel. Case Muse, the prop forward to the 22. Wallaby defence has regrouped. 2.5 minutes to go. Australia by 1 point. Alatini, Iramia. Sandwiched in midfield. Kelleher. Randall and Lomu. Can he do it? Larkham. Lomu has won the game surely for New Zealand. This has been a magnificent comeback by the All Blacks after all looked lost. And it's that man, Jonah Lomu, the human juggernaut.
Lomu had snatched victory from the jaws of defeat for New Zealand. However, Australia weren't world champions for nothing, and they overturned that result in Wellington to deny Lomu a Tri-Nations triumph. The following year saw Lomu's injury and health problems take over. He remained in the squads, but the emergence of the likes of Tana Umanga and Doug Howlett meant there were more options for the All Blacks. There were still glimpses of his brilliance, but the appearances in a black jersey became more fleeting.
Kelleher, first pass to Brown was a good one. Alatini, Wilson in the gap. Here's a try coming up. Lomu for the corner. Jonah's in. That's the try that wins the Test match. What a great moment this is. Anton Oliver hands the ball to Jonah Lomu. In his 50th Test match, the big fella leads the All Blacks out. Tony Brown across to Umanga, stabs it for Lomu. Rough and Lomu. Lomu gets up and he's got it. In his 50th Test match, Jonah opens the scoring.
What a way to start, Jonah. Well, you saw in the anthem, he's a patriot, and now he's played 50 Test matches, only 16 have done so. And talk about a try-scoring machine. The big matches, he nails them.
But his kidney problems intensified, and over the next 3 years, Lomu was seen less and less. In 2004, he was literally handed a lifeline by a close friend and had a kidney transplant.
But this is where you find out, in terms of, your friends. They're definitely genuine friends to me. And, to me, I don't know how to repay that. How can you ever repay someone who is actually giving you the gift of life in terms of helping you out in that sense? But, when I talked to them about it, and I asked them, why would you want to do this? They said, I've got 2 good kidneys and you need one. So, and that was it.
Incredibly, in 2005, Lomu launched his comeback in a testimonial for England's Martin Johnson. In that game, he picked up a shoulder injury which ruled him out of plans for a comeback for North Harbour in the NPC. But Lomu has remained philosophical.
Pain is our friend at the time, because pain only lasts for a short while, but glory lasts for a lifetime.
Still only 30, Lomu is currently playing first-class rugby again at the Cardiff Blues in the Celtic League and still hasn't given up hope of an All Black recall.